Action is a demand on government.
In the Ghana service, the total workforce is about 400,000 teachers and non-teachers. 350,000 constitutes the teachers group. Their conditions of service has been signed since last year, 2024. But in the Ghana Education Service, the Teachers and Educational Workers Union, which comprises about only 15,000 workers, that's just about 1/10 of all the total employment of the workers in the Ghana Education Service. They are refusing to sit down with us. If this is not discrimination, what can you call it? The 19th day of September 2025, the TEWU of TEU-TUC hereby declares a nationwide strike with immediate effect. All non-teaching staff of the Ghana Education Service, the public universities, the technical universities, and staff of the Ghana Library Authority, staff of the missions and monuments boards, they are all online with us nationwide. A lot of the team members are not here because they're all on the one side. After this declaration, across the country, we have directed all to stay away from work until further notice.
Let's connect right now with Labour Affairs correspondent Daniel Opoku. Daniel, let's start off with this strike and what we understand, or when we understand it's expected to take full effect, because he's announced that starting today, that industrial action comes into full force. And as well, help us understand the background of their conditions of service as well.
Right, so good afternoon to you, Erica. Now, basically, what the leadership is talking about has to do with our conditions of service, which has been on the table for quite some time now, for a very long time. Ideally, within the public sector space, all negotiations were supposed to have been concluded somewhere last year.
Hello?
That of TEWU is yet to be done. Hello?
Yes, you can proceed, Daniel.
Right, and that of TEWU is yet to be concluded. There's a reason they have declared a nationwide strike. Now, when you look at the space of TEWU, you have those who work within the Ghana Education Service, and you also have those who work with the Ghana Library Board, and also at the public university. So this nationwide strike is both those who work within the Ghana Education Service and also the public universities across the nation. About 50,000 of them have decided to call up to begin their nationwide strike, asking government to immediately try and they conclude negotiations or they conclude conditions of service, or else they are not going back to the various classrooms and also to their various working places.
And have we got a response from the Labour Commission to this strike that we've just heard announced?
That's quite interesting, because my sources at the National Labour Commission dictate to me that the leadership of TEWU presented the letter to them just last night. That was just yesterday. And they are still in the meeting trying to be able to put some or two things together by the commissioners. So the National Labour Commission has about 7 commissioners. So they may have to put everything together before they will serve officially to the leadership of TEWU. But you can say that the National Labour Commission is yet to serve the leadership of TEWU, and also government is here to respond to the concerns of TEWU. So for them, don't listen to the leadership of TEWU. They are saying that they are ready to engage government to be able to resolve their problem. Now, so what you also compare them to call of the strike would be a proper roadmap, or what you call a time schedule as to when payments will be done. So that reason, they are able to conclude some of these things. They are able to get the decision that they will call of their strike.
Right, and just finally, we know that the announcement said it was with immediate effect, but has it begun to take effect yet, where these persons at public universities, the Ghana Library Board and the Ghana Education Service are leaving their offices, do we know?
Right. So whenever a strike is announced, just for instance, today they are asking their members to begin the nationwide strike today. It becomes very difficult for a lot of them to begin the strike. Even though they issued a statement last night, I saw snippets of information which were sent around to their various leaders, to their various members nationwide, for them to stay away from work today. But the effectiveness and the strength of the strike will begin from next week, when every member of TEWU will become abreast of the issues and also the need and the direction of the leadership that they have to begin their nationwide strike. So if you're a government, that means that you have possibly the close of day today and also have to wait next week to be able to resolve the problem, or else the strike should intensify, especially those who are going to school for the first time, the senior high students and the first year students at the public universities are going to be affected. Well, all these members work within the administrative setup of the various institutions. They prepare salaries, the security people, those who work in the laundry, the cooks and all that. So if you fail to address the problem now, that means that the strike is going to intensify and have dire consequences on the whole education sector.
Daniel, as always, I appreciate you. That's Daniel Opoku, who is our Labour Affairs correspondent, providing us details on the latest involving TEWU and their industrial action. We'll continue to monitor this and bring you details as and when.
The Narcotics Control Commission has carried out a successful raid in Otinibi, a suburb in the Greater Accra region, targeting suspected drug dens and criminal hideouts. The operation, which took place in the early hours of the day, led to the arrest of 4 individuals believed to be involved in drug trafficking and related illegal activities. The area was reportedly known for a mixture of brothels and drug dealings, which had raised concerns among residents and local authorities. During the operation, narcotic officers retrieved significant quantities of illegal substances, including 2 kilograms of cannabis and 1 kilogram each of hashish, GH gold and amnesia, substances known to be widely abused in the region. The seized drugs will be sent for further forensic analysis as investigations continue to determine the full extent of the criminal network operating in the area. Now, leadership of NACOG has stated that the raid is part of ongoing efforts to clamp down on drug trafficking and substance abuse in communities across the country. We'll now take you to Madina, also here in Accra, where the Ghana National Fire Service has called on municipal and district assemblies to re-examine accessibility to marketplaces in the capital city. Speaking to TV3 during Friday morning's fire incident at the Madina market, the Greater Accra Regional Fire Commander expressed worry at the level of distraction recorded anytime fire breaks out, particularly in our marketplaces, due to a lack of accessibility.
The Madina market fire, according to an eyewitness, started at 1 a.m. Friday, September 19. With 4 fire tenders, the fire service brought the situation under control after several minutes of struggling to get access to the point of the fire. The fire service personnel managed to salvage 1-story warehouse and adjoining structures. No casualties were recorded, and the cause remains under investigation.
And you're still live here on News Central. There's latest statistics from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital having to do with non-communicable diseases. And what we know, amongst many other things, is that they are raising alarm about growing numbers in terms of non-communicable disease being recorded at the facility. And we have statistics as well to show to you as to what the trend is looking like, and the fact that increasingly more persons are reporting to the facility for non-communicable diseases. So you talk of the cancers and the diabetes, amongst many other things. They say it's becoming one too many, and one that increasingly is a cause of concern, considering that there's been lots of education, amongst many other things. The expectation is that persons will begin to take their health seriously and, for instance, perhaps report as quickly as possible to the hospitals. But let's try and walk you through what the data point says from from the hospital in terms of annual cases as reported from 2021. And so for cardiovascular diseases having to do with heart conditions, we're seeing 2025, where we've done just a half year already, well, in the 9th month, our numbers are already surpassing all other years in terms of the ailments recorded. And so for cardiovascular diseases, heart-related conditions, for this year alone, we've seen 2,888 of such cases reported, and that's more than in any other year since 2021. And the year is yet to end. And so that really is a cause of concern. For the cancers, there's been a decline of some sort, but even with that, we're yet to get to the end of the year. We still have some 3+ months to go. We're currently at 1,252, even though the average is in the regions of some 2,000 plus since 2021. Hypertensive diseases, we're seeing a very sporadic increase, as a matter of fact, in terms of the numbers. 1,249 is what we've recorded thus far in this year. Then we talk of diabetes as well. We're not inching to the numbers we've seen in previous years, but we're at 5,225 kidney-related matters. Already before the year will end, 2,328, and then stroke as well. That's the point where you can say that, okay, in comparison to the previous years, we're yet to scratch the heights reached in the other years, but we know that the year is yet to end. There are still quite a few more months for us to go to complete it. And so that's the area of concern, as is being raised by amongst many other things, the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Let's now engage the Greater Accra Regional NCD focal person, Dr. Jacqueline Thompson. I appreciate you speaking to us, Doc. I mean, more often than not, we talk and we're asking the questions, what are the main drivers of surge in these NCDs? Is it the case that we still do not know, or persons are not paying attention to the communication as it comes through?
Hello. Good afternoon to your listeners, and good afternoon to everyone. The problem is mainly got to do with lifestyle. We are making quite a lot of noise about the fact that these diseases are on the surge. However, I believe that because it's not something that is killing people quickly, they seem not to be paying much attention to it. They hear a friend has lost their lives, or a neighbor, or someone else that may be close to them, or sometimes someone far away. But then the fact that it's not causing a lot of havoc like the communicable diseases, I believe, is the reason why people are not paying so much attention.
Right.
But in the health service, we are doing what them is. I think we need to surge up our awareness, and then let people be more conscious of the fact that they need to pay more attention to these non-communicable diseases.
But there are those who make the argument, and Doc, it looks like we may be losing you just a slight bit in terms of the connectivity, but there are those who raise or have other concerns about, outside of the lifestyle, food safety, and galamsey-related conversations coming up, because now we know our water sources are polluted. From the numbers we know, 65% of our freshwater sources are contaminated with galamsey. And if people say they do not drink these waters, they are used to cook the foods we eat, amongst many other things. Can we begin to draw causative lines to these related matters?
Yes, indirectly we can say so, because earlier this morning I heard about the fact that in the Western region, the water that is coming out of their taps looks like Milo. So the galamsey is a big cause that we should be looking at. Even though we are not directly able to pinpoint it, I mean, it's all around us. So it's something that needs to be addressed as quickly as possible. We are having increasing numbers of kidney disease that rises at a fast rate, and we can attribute it to the galamsey. So it is something that we really need to look at. It's not only polluting the rivers, but then also all this is going into the sea, the seafood we are eating and all that are getting contaminated. And so we need to look at that as one of the major causes of concern.
Just finally on preparations in terms of dealing with these, is our health system ready to be able to handle this surge in non-communicable diseases?
Honestly, I would say that we are not fully ready because the rate at which it is increasing is alarming. So in terms of personnel, in terms of infrastructure, if we get the numbers increasing at this alarming rate, we are heading for trouble. And we really need to vamp up the preventive measures so that people don't get to the stage where we can't handle it. As at now, I should say that we are not fully ready to handle it, because when it decides to reach the alarming rates, I don't think we'll be able to deal with it.
Doc, I appreciate you speaking to us. That's Dr. Jacqueline speaking to us this afternoon. Jacqueline Thompson is the focal person for conversations in relation to non-communicable diseases. And if you're watching, the caution is for you to take care of yourself and to, amongst many other things as well, ensure that you're visiting the hospital regularly for checkups and to ensure you do not catch any of these. But let's stay on subject matters relating to this topic, causative agents, galamsey.
Absolutely, and we're going to Chebi now because residents there in the Abuja South municipality of the eastern region have gone weeks without access to potable water, a crisis fueled by relentless pollution of the Birim River and forests. In response, the municipality has launched an anti-galamsey task force to confront illegal miners whose activities are destroying water bodies and destroying the forest. Yvonne Nikwe has more.
The irresponsible mining continues unabated, clear and blatant disregard to the environment and the adverse impact here. Behind me, we're seeing destruction to the Birim River and Forest Reserve. The Abuja South municipality is blessed with abundance of river bodies and natural resources, but these vital resources are being polluted and distracted. Turbidity levels of water bodies are high, affecting operations of the Ghana Water Company Limited and limiting access to clean water. For the past 1 month, residents in Chebi and several communities could not get access to clean water or potable water.
2 weeks, the BIG said, the fire service for every issue.
The municipal chief executive who heads the Security Council, Nana Edu Akins, is taking a tougher stance. He says landowners and irresponsible miners will be dealt with. He's formed a new anti-galamsey mining task force. He's urging the committee to go hard on anybody found mining irresponsibly. The task force has seized some equipment and made some arrests. They're saying that in the next few months, the actions would go a long haul, ensuring that everybody is brought to book and the menace kept.
Task force against illegal mining activities known as galamsey. We've taken very harsh measures because looking at the kind of devastation this menace is creating in our society, there is no point to jojo with them again. We've been pampering them for quite too long. Now, as we came to the site, they ran away, right? We are going to start investigation to who the site belongs to.
Well, let's have a quick chat with the Municipal Chief Executive of Abuja South, Nana Akins Jr., for a bit more on this development. Nana, good afternoon to you and thank you so much for joining us. But let's look at the specific measure of this new task force to stop illegal mining activities in your municipality. What exactly will they be doing? How will they operate?
Good afternoon, Yvonne. If you can come again, your line wasn't too clear.
Well, so I'm asking about the task force that you set up in the municipality to tackle, illegal mining in your communities. Talk to us about how they will operate. Talk to us about their composition. Just, tell us a bit more about it.
Yes, so the task force comprises of the NUSEC members. It's strictly only members of the NUSEC, the police, the fire service, the immigration within the municipality. They make up the task force. And we have a very clear objective. Our objective is just to make sure that all river bodies, including mainly the Brim River, is cleaned and it can be used for domestic purposes and whatsoever. And then once again, there is no way we are looking forward to relent on these actions that we have started taking, because the situation currently in the municipality is that bad that we would have no other option than to be ruthless with these galamseyers.
I see. So, Nana, how will your task force operate alongside the national task force?
Yes, so we are just complementing their efforts. We are just complementing the efforts of the National Task Force. But then we are here with these people, and the task force, the National Task Force, they cannot always or every day be available in the municipality. So we need to have a local solution to the situation at hand. So we are going to police these water bodies, keep on chasing away these galamseyers from the water bodies, and possibly go to their homes to arrest them. Because with investigations, I believe every other site that is along the Brim River or any other river, with investigation, we should be able to know who this site belongs to and go to their homes or wherever we would find them and pick them up. It's an illegal activity. It's a criminal activity, just like armed robbery and whatsoever. So if an armed robber goes to robbery and he's not arrested at the scene, and investigations are conducted and later found out that he is the suspect, the police goes for him wherever they find him. We are going to take equal measures to that, because they work at night. And at night, you cannot go there to chase them. Even when they are working during the day, the nature of the place, you cannot go and chase them. When they see you coming, they run away. They take their equipment, they take the monitor from the excavators and stuff, and they run away. You can't shoot them. You can't do anything to them. So we have devised a strategy that we would now target the sponsors of this site and the site owners of this site. When we arrest them and we put them before the law, I believe this galamsey issues and pollution of the water bodies and all that will come at a very low level.
I see. Let's talk about the impact of, illegal mining on residents. What would you say about that?
You see, we are only just even limiting ourselves to, when we talk about the impact of galamsey, people just look at the water bodies, the forests and other stuff. The dangerous aspect of it that we have not really given much attention is the huge devastation that is happening to the future of the youth. Look, because of this illegal mining, there is a high level of drug abuse, prostitution, and all other social vices within our municipalities, not only in Abuja South, all other mining areas. But we are even more concentrating about the water bodies and trees. So when we're talking about impact, apart from the pollution of our water bodies, that we don't even get water for the domestic purposes, the future of the youth is really becoming bleak, because most of them, these miners, they tell you they need energy to be able to do their work, so they are abusing this tramadol, this red. Some are even taking cocaine and other hard drugs in the municipality. So the impact of galamsey is huge and bigger than we all think, and it's time that we all support our president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's government, the vision to ensure that we totally wipe away these galamsey issues. We would need the support of the community, opinion leaders, the chiefs, whosoever, or everybody who is involved in this kind of act, we would have to go after them and be very harsh with them to be able
Indeed,
to,
Nana.
take away this menace.
Very well, Nana, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for talking to us. Nana Akins
Thank you
Jr.
very much.
Indeed, Nana Akins Jr. is MCE for Abuja South. We'll stay on the subject because pressure is mounting on the Ghana Water Company and government to fix the water crises being faced by some residents in some districts in the central region. Now, according to residents, the water crisis is having a toll on their lives and want immediate solution. Now, most of them frustrated with the situation now want government to take every step to end illegal mining, the very canker which caused the shutdown of the Kwenyako water dam. Correspondent Thomas Khan has been monitoring the water crisis that has hit parts of the central region due to the shutdown of Kwenyako water dam, and joins us with a bit more on this story. Thomas, talk to us. What can you report from there?
Same manner started. This river began to change its color. So the waterworks personnel, they told the chief and its elders that they should protect the river. So I quite remember there was a press conference somewhere in last year. But this galamsey is not going on in our area here. It is somewhere from the tributes of the river. Some tributes. Suhum, Asamankasi, that area. Enuma Papim. There. But in our area here, there's no galamsey here. Yeah. So this river turns into this color from the source of.
3 weeks Eddie Bay. And su kesa oda ha efe na yesu ono na ye pipe na bibia wo ma yetum yenom afi echiri ye ho na nsu no na yi na change kra ayete de nsu odo kokwa amuchi aho nti wono mo yi nti ma ye de nsu bi oda ye krom ha efe river ofa ono no de kron finfin na mo na adi na no bi ono afi krom mafo no yesa yenom in fact ya no the yarbebre brain nti ehwe ma de na akoye de nsu no fi soro na eba na yehwe ana ihu de galamsey semiara na wasi nsu no nti na yesre de nka wombo hen na baby adam nsu no ahu na ofiworo ba no yodu ntwa na nka yenya yesu papa no no fa hoto mra hen ama yeko echiri kro bi ofro wesa mo krom ho na ya yetum kwen nsu ho ho no so sarekwa moto no bajo 25 Ghana cedis yeko abokwakubu nsu be 5 cedis nti bowe na nsu be rubber chrono across 30 Ghana cedis.
Khan Faldat report is joining us now with a bit more on this story. Thomas, let's talk about the situation, the water shortage in the central region. We understand this is in parts of the region. Which are the areas affected by this?
Like we rightly said, now we do know that about 13 districts out of the 22 districts in the central region have been affected. For instance, when you go to the Kumwa enclave, you go to the Agona East and West enclave, and when you come down to Fantaman, all those places have been affected, and residents are not having it easy at all. And as a result, the Regional Security Council have also been complaining about it because this is a worry to the regional minister, for instance, and the DCs and the MMTCs in these affected communities. At the moment, residents are saying that they are spending more to get water to even consume, especially health authorities in these districts are also worried that food consumption could also be a problem. Already, some of the food vendors are complaining about how they get water to prepare their food. And in a community, definitely people would want to buy food from outside. So people are also afraid of what they go out there to buy because of the water crisis. Most people are afraid to even eat from outside their homes. And they are calling on government to, as a matter of urgency, do something about it. especially dealing with the Galamsey issue, which is the main source of problem now. At the moment, the RESOC is also taking steps to come in to have some means for people, individuals, to dig boreholes, so that at least that will be a mitigating factor to help the situation.
I see. How long has the water crisis persisted in the central region? What have authorities done, about it, really?
Well, it's been, there are some of them, some of the districts who have had water crisis for a little over some months, and some are running into weeks. For instance, when it comes to some parts of Cape Coast South, some have not had water for more than 2 weeks, and they're also afraid that the other districts that have been hardest hit, these parts of Cape Coast, for instance, would also experience same. And already there's really pressure on the Ghana Water Company. Like I said, the regional minister and the affected MMDCs, they say they've been working around the clock to get Ghana Water, to get immediate solutions to it. And these are some of the interventions that they are proposing, is that people get to dig boreholes that at least can serve communities, and as well also have plans to provide water to supply to communities, especially areas that are hardest hit, so that people can use water for their local activities, and as well also use that to cook as well.
Very well, we'll leave it here. Thank you so much. Thomas Khan is a Central Region correspondent. We'll stay on the subject of illegal mining.
Absolutely. Because the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, has described illegal miners operating on the country's water bodies as a war on the country, whilst issuing a stern warning to deal with them. He's also been hinting of plans to extend the legally mandated 100-meter buffer zone to 1 kilometer to ensure the integrity of the country's riverbanks. Irama Smith has more.
Following a series of patrols on the Ankoba River by the Anti-Illegal Mining Task Force, a high-level delegation joined an inspection on Thursday, September 18. The delegation included Lands and Natural Resources Minister Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, Western Regional Minister Joseph Nelson, and officials from the Lands Ministry who joined the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS. Western Regional National Security Operatives and Blue Water Guards on a patrol to assess the river's current state. The journey started from Jura Riaso and ended at Jura Akango in the Evaluajura municipality of the Western region. The obviously shocked Lands Minister issued the stern warning to the illegal miners.
The message to everybody engaged in any illegal activity along the Ankobra and major rivers is that we are coming after you. And we are not coming on a day visit and leaving. We are going to be here. There is no law in Ghana that allows anybody to mine or discharge water in any of the water bodies. So anybody that is seen engaged in this activity is a fair target. And we are warning you, stop it. Because the damage that this is causing our country cannot be paid.
He vowed that the government will soon take complete charge to return our water bodies to their natural color, while condemning the actions of illegal miners, which he describes as a war on the country.
If this is not war, then I don't see anything. We need to mobilize all the forces we have. We need to put all the resources we have to deal with this crisis of our time. And it's very, very clear. The president's heart is in the right place when he directed that we need to deploy permanently the military and the security forces along our river bodies and the forest reserve. And that is what we are going to work with the Ministry of Finance and key sectors to deal with this issue.
The minister said the ministry is re-examining the legally mandated 100-meter buffer zone, with plans to potentially extend it to 1 kilometer. This enhanced measure is crucial for maintaining the integrity of riverbank zones.
It just doesn't make sense to allow, even give anybody the excuse that they can mine 100 meters from water. It is part of the problem, and we are changing that.
To bolster these efforts, the Western Regional Minister, Joseph Nelson, has proposed setting up a permanent military base and a Minerals Commission office within the Nzema East municipality to strengthen the ongoing campaign against illegal mining.
We need a permanent base here that all these guys who perpetrate this illegality will know that there's some presence. The problem, to some extent, is structural. The Minerals Commission doesn't have office anywhere from Wasa East all the way to Jomoro. No office around here. And so I'm wondering how they're able to police even those companies that they have duly given license to. And so I think that as you know, the security does its work, I think that the regulator itself must also be up and doing.
Irama Smith, TV3 News, Jura.
Societe Generale has launched this highly anticipated Green Fund, a landmark initiative with green financing options for companies and corporate bodies. As part of its commitment to sustainability, green energy and environmental responsibility, SG Ghana has embraced this innovative drive to impact the society and cause remarkable change for current and future generations.
Societe Generale Ghana identifies with the environment and the societies in which it operates, one that shows how responsible the bank is. The SG Green Fund is a high purchase financing offer designed to enable clients to buy electric vehicles. It also comes with low-interest loan facility to support companies and corporate bodies committed to driving sustainability, such as solar power initiatives. Like none other, SG Ghana is not only making profits, but giving back to the society. And it's all about sustainability.
Globally, you know that ESG is in the heart of our strategy through the financing solutions, but also through many initiatives that we do under the environmental, social and corporate social responsibility also. We are providing at a very competitive rate and very low rate the financing to acquire an electric vehicle. We are also providing the necessary support to accompany initiatives which have a positive impact, sustainable under the sustainability agenda. So all initiative which has a green component, energy efficiency component, green drive, etc., will have this kind of support.
The SG Ghana Managing Director says the fund is not restrictive in nature.
Any project that you have as a company which has a positive impact, which could be even linked to education, which could be linked to the 16th, SDGs agenda, we will look at it. If you have all the criteria, you will benefit from this fund.
Through its ESG agenda and corporate social responsibilities, the bank has entered into several sustainability agreements that are already yielding dividends.
ESG is everything to Societe Generale Ghana. It's a brand positioning. It's another business development tool. Everybody's talking about sustainability. There is no business without sustainability. And SG, we are leading the way. We're giving financing, we're giving technical advice and support. We are organizing such events and networking sessions to bring people together to foster the whole ecosystem. It's novel, it's a new conversation, we know. As Societe Generale, we're here to help clients do right in the space. We cannot do it alone.
The launch, which took place at the residence of the French ambassador, was well attended by diplomats, top government officials, and SG Ghana's staff, who have all made a bold commitment to sustainability.
And hey, and this is why we say we are the only bank which has you in the future.
Still News Central here on TV3. We'll be right back with more news. Don't go away.
Back in the studio here with News Central. Let's bring you matters in relation to politics, and this time about the governing NDC, because his chairman, Johnson Asiedu-Nketia, says his ongoing thank you tour in the eastern region is aimed at reconnecting with the grassroots who played a crucial role in the party's overwhelming victory in the December elections. He notes that the collective efforts between party leadership and the grassroots significantly contributed to the NDC securing more parliamentary seats in the 2024 elections. The tour, which is the first of its kind by a party chair, sparked mixed reactions among some party members and the general public. Let's listen to Johnson Asiedu-Nketia.
People across Ghana are praising us for leading the party to victory. But the real credit goes to you, the branches. Real credit goes to you, the branches, constituencies, zonals, and regions. On behalf of the party, thank you all for your hard work in the 2024 elections.
Gauge the thoughts of Dr. Samuel Free on this. Doc, I appreciate you speaking to us. I mean, there are those who've criticized, expressed surprise even at the ongoing tour, but that's the man for himself speaking, explaining away why he is on this tour and ignoring the concerns as well. What would you say? A novelty, yes, but what strategy really is at play here?
Yes, thank you, Mauna, and to your viewers as well. You know, should we say it's a novel? It's a novel for personal goals, you know, and for personal agenda. Since the NDC came into as a political party, I don't know whether he was also part with the president going around to thank the people and also to the party members. I don't know whether he was part of it. Totally, people would just conclude that it's a personal goal, that he's noted for the party at the grassroots level. So he wants to build himself to let the party members know that he's still with them. So that when it comes to his aim to become a presidential candidate for the NDC, when President Mahama's term of office ends, then he just let his people to vote for him. So it's a personal goal, it's a personal agenda of becoming the presidential candidate or the flag bearer of the NDC for the year 2028. So nobody can discount that goal because he has always seen that his main contender is people have not just come out, but within the party circles and also within the party, we can realize that these two people have shown some signs of becoming a presidential candidate. That's the chief of staff, Julius Debra. You've seen him moving around of late, going for, is it jogging or every Saturday moving here and there with his people. So he also thought it wise, in his own view, to also go to the party people to also show consent that he is with them and no matter what, and also going to thank you. But I've not heard that a whole party chairman moving alone, even if it is the national executives moving, then that can be given some kind of credence. But he moving alone without a party on block, then it seems that is a personal goal that he wants to achieve.
Does this not affect the government in terms of its business? You've mentioned just the national chairman moving around the country wanting to thank the individuals, and you've hit the nail straight up on its head that, I mean, this is infighting, if we can call it that already, for who replaces John Mahama. Between the two individuals you have named, does that not begin to distract the government in its reset agenda?
Seriously, it will affect the government, especially from the chief of staff point of view. If the chief of staff does not control himself in terms of his also personal agenda of becoming the flag bearer of the NDC and also start going on, that means that the main job of being the chief of staff will affect government business. And we are all concerned because if it goes that way, the government running its own systems will be affected. And also when it comes to the party, it also gives the president undivided attention to also listen to the party concerned, also look at how things will be done. So it's hard time that the leadership of the party has to, especially the council or the topmost decision makers of the party, should draw these people to order so that they can just comport themselves rather than starting. Because even the president has not even gone to even have not even 1 year that the president has even moved on. So if you come and start so early with this kind of personal ambition is unfortunate. And I think they have to be talked to so that they put themselves in order rather than. I think they should rather work themselves. I think it's politics. So people should go underground and do it. But for them to lead such a frontline campaign, I think it will make the government, it will affect the government seriously from both sides, from the chief of staff and also from the party chairman as well.
As always, Doc, I appreciate you sharing these thoughts with us. That's Dr. Samuel Afriyie speaking to us this afternoon.
Now, member of the NDC and legal practitioner Abraham Amalba is urging government to send Ghana's deportation agreement with the USA to Parliament for ratification, despite pointing out that he finds a Supreme Court decision which makes this ratification necessary to be problematic. Government must simply comply, as that is the current position of the law.
No matter how bad a law is, it is still the law. And so I agree that the ruling by the Supreme Court then, that lamb matters like note verbals, which are just correspondences, which do not have legal intention, much as they lamb all of them together and say they must be sent to Parliament. I can't say anything contrary. That is the law for now. And so if there's need, not that if there's need, I think that it is compelling for government to do just that.
Okay.
But I've also shown you how ridiculous it is to be doing those things. In my example, if I wanted to go to the US, the Foreign Affairs Minister gives me a note verbal to go to the embassy. I must go to Parliament and say, Mr. Speaker, this is a note verbal. Can you agree to it before I go to the US embassy? It's wrong.
Well, the Member of Parliament for Korle Klottey, Dr. Zaneto Agyeman-Rawlings, has called on the Transport Minister and the President to urgently intervene and stop private individuals from taking over the Abuja CMB market. Market women and drivers who have been operating in that enclave for decades petitioned the President on Tuesday after what they describe as forceful eviction from the land. Christian Yale reports.
A group of transport operators, containers owners and traders picketed the Jubilee House on Tuesday, September 16th, to demand action over the alleged sale of the CMB land to private developers. The Member of Parliament for Korle Klottey, Dr. Zaneto Agyeman-Rawlings, has condemned the purported sale of the land by faceless individuals. She wants the President and the Transport Minister to intervene.
The reality of it is the CMB Abuja enclave is one that holds a very key part of commerce in Greater Accra. Also, a very important part of our food chain in an urban center, because most of the food that comes in from the hinterland actually arrives at the Abuja CMB market. And so what I would like to do is stand unequivocally and to condemn what is happening in this enclave, because it is very clear that this land is state land and should not be taken over by private individuals, especially when we are not sure who is giving the permission. And so I would like to call on the Minister of Transport, under whom the railways development is situated, to really come out and give clear guidance on this, and to the President to intervene on this issue, to stop private individuals who are taking possession of land that is for Railways Department under the Ministry of Transport.
The chairperson of the Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliament also wants the Economic and Organized Crime Office to investigate the issue,
because this is causing a huge uproar in terms of people's stability. A huge part of our informal sector is situated in the CMB Abuja Market Enclave. With EOCO, there is the possibility to see things to finality. Once there's a fiat given from the Attorney General, EOCO can actually proceed with prosecuting any kind of criminal case. I do have a lot of questions with regards to what's happening on the railways land. Those who are working and residents there have called on me several times to actually intervene on this issue.
She noted that efforts to meet the parties involved have been difficult.
In some cases, some persons alleged having some level of alliance to certain political parties at the time, or connected to certain people who were of influence. By and large, it's been very difficult to actually get anyone specifically to actually sit at the table with us. As a matter of interest, when our MCE, Honorable Lutegezi, was confirmed, it was one of the places that we toured extensively, because he's fully aware of some of the issues that are going on there.
This is not the first time that this particular issue has come up. In 2018, that was in March, this issue came up on the floor of Parliament, where the MP herself raised this concern and even put the question to the then Minister for Railways Development over what intention government has for that enclave. The MP mentions that just last year, she received a petition concerning this same issue, and she wrote to the then Minister for Railways Development.
Market women, drivers, and those affected await a resolution. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Parliament.
Climate change and migration experts are urging the government to take swift and decisive action. They are calling for effective policies to tackle the growing impact of climate change across the country, warning that the consequences of inaction could be severe. According to them, if the government fails to respond, already strained efforts to mobilize resources for host communities could be pushed to the brink, worsening living conditions and threatening long-term development.
The effects of climate change continue to hit communities hard across the country, with farmers and local residents bearing the brunt. Unpredictable rainfall patterns are causing frequent flooding, destroying farmland and disrupting livelihoods. Farmers say their crops are failing and their work is being severely impacted. Despite various government policies, many experts believe the country is still far from addressing the root causes and long-term effects of climate change. Currently, there's a funding gap of over $200 million, a major hurdle in implementing climate resilience programs. Climate change and migration experts are now urging the government to step up its investment.
We want to use this document to engage policymakers. It's an advocacy tool, so we want to use it to show evidence that, guys, these are what's happening, this is the evidence. Can we come together and sit and come up with some action plans to deliver or resolve the issue?
They are also calling for better coordination and alignment of policies to address the growing crisis.
Have a kind of comprehensive policy setup. Now, IOM is working on migration, EPA is working on climate, and then we also have the issue of youth by a new ministry. So it's better for them to come together. Instead of doing activities or policies on their own, they can have a comprehensive policy to handle the issue.
As the climate continues to change, the call is clear. More action, better policies, and urgent funding are needed to protect vulnerable communities.
Bring it all to an end for this week here on News Central. I am Mawin Aigbeta.
And I am Kemeni Amano. We are back same time Monday with another edition of News Central. I will see you later in the evening with Ghana Tonight. Bye-bye.